Yo, it's me, it's the SCOTT baby, and I'm here with my review of the 1985 movie, Rambo, First Blood Part 2, starring Sylvester Stallone, Richard Crenna, Charles Napier, and is directed by George P. Cosmatos. Wait, the same guy directed Cobra. So now, just 3 years after the event, I'm not sure when the first film takes place. The first film came out in 1982, this is 1985, and they say it's been there for 5 years, so maybe it was the 70s and 1980. I don't know, but this picks up, basically, he's in prison, and he's, working out in the yard, and he gets a visit from Colonel Troutman, and Troutman says there are POWs in Vietnam that need rescue. So now Rambo has to go back to Vietnam to rescue these POWs. And things get complicated. Now, I'll tell you what. Okay, I mentioned in my review for the first one that the first one's not really what you call an action movie. It's more of a suspense, thriller type film about a guy just trying to survive. This one, oh boy, it's a full-fledged action sequence. There is 30 minutes of this film without any dialogue. Just 30 minutes! I swear to you. It's gotta be at least 30 minutes. Just no dialogue, just gun sounds for 30 minutes until the climax is over with. Just go. Hey, now I'm not bagging on it. It's pretty good. So yeah, Rambo has to go back to Vietnam, which, yeah, in a sense, the war, it's a little tough for him, and he's sent there not only by Troutman, but this other guy played by, I think his name is Murdoch, played by Charles Napier, who is sort of a bad guy, but not really. I mean, he's just following orders, I guess. Well, he's told that there will be no one at the camp. Just POWs. As far as I know, there's supposed to be no one there. And when they get there, he meets this Vietnamese woman, whose name I don't remember, and it's just love interest, but not really because something happens, but, he meets her, and they infiltrate the camp, and find that there are actually still the Viet Cong, or Vietnamese soldiers there, and we see earlier they were working with the Russians, and it even turns out that people that ferried him there on the boat were working for the Vietnam people, except for the girl. But yeah, it was like set up or something, I don't know, and they kidnap him. She gets away, but they kidnap him. And they got him in this slime sludge. For what they show, it looks like it comes from the toilet. So it's like shit that he's in. And they have him like suspended like this. And then the Russians come and they talk to him. And they force him to send out a message. And he sends a message to Murdoch. Because what happens is, he rescues one of the POWs. And the helicopter comes to get him, and Murdoch at the last second tells the helicopter to get out of there. Hold on. The guy, Sensei Kreese from the Karate Kid, he's in this too. And he's working for Murdoch. But they pull out, and Troutman doesn't understand it, and yet Troutman, they say to lock him up, but I don't think they ever lock him up. Because he's still standing there. And then Rambo was captured. So he's now a POW. And, torture and all that. I feel like they gloss over his trauma. Like, I feel like him going to Vietnam again, he doesn't, like, with all the stuff that we saw in the first film, all the trauma that he had, all the PTSD and all the flashbacks that we saw, you think there would be more weight to it when he gets there. Yes, there's a point where he just sort of sits there. Like, they start out with the action starts out with a malfunction when his thing is caught on the chopper, so that he has to cut it off with his knife. I don't know. I don't get that, but eventually he kills the motherfuckers. He kills them all. Like, he's like, Murdoch, I'm coming for you. And he breaks out and he kills he attacks the guys. He gets out with the help of the woman who pretends to be a prostitute or hooker or whatever. And they get out of there, and she's like, where will you go? And he's like, I don't know. Back to America? Yeah. You'll take me with you? Yeah. And then she gets killed. And this is where the shit hits the fan. They kill her. That's where he's like, fuck it. And from this point on, it's constant killing from Rambo. He killed the Vietnamese. He kills the Russians. He saves the POW. But there's one Russian left that shoots at the guy, and then Rambo shoots him. But then there's another Russian left that's inside another chopper. And at the point where the Russian actually shoots the other chopper, and it's smoking and stuff. And then it looks like he's got it. He fires another missile. I want to mention, beginning of this, when he's on the ferry or whatever it is, they show him a rocket launcher. And that does come back around here, because I'll get to it. So he the Russian fires a missile, and looks like he blows it up. But then he finds the chopper like low on the water, and Rambo apparently dead. He looks dead. And then when the guy like gives him the check, Rambo pops up, shoots the rocket launcher, boom, blows up the other chopper. That made me, I'm like, hell yeah! Because I was waiting for him to use that thing, and he used it. And he gets the POWs back to the camp, which for some reason doesn't seem as far as it was when they went there, but I don't know. He gets there, and he gets out, he makes a beeline for Murdoch, and he's got what do you call it? The clip wrapped around his arm, and he's got the gun, and he's ready to go, and he goes in, and he shoots the hell out of their little office they got there. Which, as he was doing it, I was thinking, well, why would you do that? What they even say after this that there's more POWs out there. So you're going to need that office. You destroyed all that stuff that could help you later, or help them. You just destroyed it. He empties the whole clip too. And then he confronts Murdoch, and Murdoch's like, I was following orders. I was reporting to someone. I was only following orders. I was only doing what we were supposed to do, to complete the mission. And, like, Rambo grabs him, puts him down, and he, mission, stabs the desk and goes, accomplished. And then he just walks out. And music, the song in the credits played Frank Stallone, which I didn't know that's his brother. I didn't know he could sing. But yeah, this movie is explosive. The one thing I want to criticize here is that even though it kicks off the best part of the film, the whole part of the film, did you really need to kill off the love interest? Because it was like they were going to go away, and all of a sudden, she's dead, and then he's on an ass-kicking tour. He could have kicked ass without her. have her get injured or something. You know what I mean? Just something. I don't know. He does kick the Sensei Kreese in the nuts though, or I don't know his name, but yeah. And I thought this one was pretty good too. For my first time watch, I really enjoyed this. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was pretty good. Like I said, there's some things that hold it down for me, like killing a lot of interest, and maybe the betrayal. Because to me, it felt like, oh, they were on a mission. They rescued one POW, and it looked like, oh, that you could go back and they can reassess things. But no, we gotta keep this movie going. So fuck them, fly away. It just felt like, why were they there if they were gonna do that anyway? I don't know. But like I said, 8 out of 10. So, what are your thoughts on Rambo First Blood Part 2? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.